Hi classmates, I hope all is going well in Fort Hall. Today I want to talk to you about an important issue, the Minnesota moose. In the past few years there has been a flurry of articles about a precipitous drop in the population of the animal here in our own state of Minnesota. Many of these articles, while seemingly well-intentioned, do not display the facts in a well-informed way. I want it noted that I in no way am trying to disprove that there is in fact a problem occurring in our Northwoods with the moose population. I do believe that there is a problem with the moose population. I simply hope to point out that the flaws in their journalistic investigations could lead to a more informed understanding of our antlered friends, and simply don't because of the lack of facts and numbers involved in them. To start dissecting this issue, one must first understand some background information about the moose population here in Minnesota. The first thing that you should know is that there was once two distinct moose populations within the state. One in the northwestern region and one in the northeastern region. Since 1996, the northwestern moose population has dwindled to less than a measurable group, making that region barren. Now the northeastern region seems to be trending in the same way. Here on this slide is a list of numbers from the Department of Natural Resources regarding this issue. As you can see, the current moose population is somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 moose. The second excerpt is important because it shows that number in comparison to population numbers during a 12-year period when the moose population was at a low point. You can see the peak population for the moose was in 2006 at 8,840 moose. You can also see that the DNR, the experts conducting the studies and viewing all of the research for the past half-century, do not claim to know the exact cause of this moose kill. This is important to note because many of the articles that have been published about this issue do claim to know that the issue is caused by certain different sources. The final passage on this page shows how low the northwestern population has become before it was considered a crisis. There are a lot of things that go into observing moose population. One of the main things, though, is that it is more difficult to observe moose when there is not snow on the ground than when there is. The 2012 population sample, which is the year in question, was one of the warmest winters in record history. This is something to take into account as we look into the following articles together. First is the CBS article. This article, which was accompanied by a brief video, had the least information out of all the articles, which is strange considering it investigated the problem firsthand. It uses dramatic language and phrases such as braved the harsh winter conditions and helicopters search for the 1,000-pound animal as if they were looking for some kind of saber-toothed tiger in the forest. One of the other items to keep an eye on with all of these articles is that they may not use a lot of the numbers I already described, but they do mention that a $1.2 million study is underway to solve the problem. They do not compare this cost to any other studies of its kind, and they like to throw the number around loosely without any other context behind it. Next is the New York Times article. It is only slightly better than the CBS one, using the same dramatic flair. The numbers it gives in the article below are the only ones in the entire article, other than the $1.2 million, of course. And they only give a small perspective of the issue itself. The New York Times article does not do a great job of summing up what they believe to be the cause behind the issue, but they do give some thought as to what it could be. They claim climate change might be part of the issue or health issues within the moose that have been plaguing them for a long time. They don't compare these issues to previous moose kill or other moose kill in other regions. The CBS article doesn't include any of these things, but what makes the New York Times article slightly better is that they have actual interviews with some of the individuals who are in charge of the moose kill surveys. The final article is an update from our own Star Tribune. The title of the article is Plight of Minnesota Moose Not So Dire as Believed. And then the article goes on to say that it could still be dire, and it mentions that no fact other than the population size bumping up by 2,000 being as an example for why it could be not so dire. This article uses very little numbers other than the updated DNR population ones, and does not show that the issue is over when the title clearly claims that. So what have we learned? From these articles, not very much. The data still needs to be compiled by the DNR and analyzed by actual experts before reporters jump to conclusions. There's a lot of factors that could be determining what the cause of this moose kill is, none the least being different weather patterns. While many of them bring up climate change, none of them bring up the fact that it's easier to observe moose during the winter and during snowier winters than it is during warmer, less snowy winters. This is a fact brought up by the DNR in their own surveys, but the reporters didn't seem to key into it. The reports also didn't actually analyze a lot of numbers from a various range of years. While yes, the moose population is low, it's been low in the past before. Snowier winters will have better observation results, which means that the cold, crappy winter this year will help the moose. Isn't that great for everyone? Thanks for listening to my presentation, guys, and good luck with finals. Hope to see you all soon. Bye.